Doug is asking about how to create a custom session template. Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong here, Doug. I'm assuming, yeah, so for prop trading, yeah, you want an extended, yeah, you want to adjust the extended trading times to match up with your prop firm regulations there or requirements there as to when trading should end, I guess. Or maybe when your margin, changes for overnight session. So yeah, so I'm assuming, yeah, you're wanting to use a custom session template in here with BlackBird there. Now, if you're referring, how do you create one of these? These are NinjaTrader session templates here. All right. So if you want to learn how to create your own custom session template within NinjaTrader, you need to direct those questions to NinjaTrader. All right. Yeah. So just to be clear, we don't provide training for NinjaTrader. That's the job of NinjaTrader. Hopefully that makes sense. But they kind of changed the menu here. They call it trading hours now. Sometimes they call it trading hours, and sometimes they call it trading session there. Yeah. So this is where you would create your own custom session template or trading hours. So as far as working with this is NinjaTrader. So we don't provide support for NinjaTrader. That's their job. So you can follow up with them on that. But in BlackBird, what you could do, yeah. So for BlackBird, so for every BlackBird settings that you have, you'll have to go in and create your own custom one here every time. So BlackBird does not save out these custom sessions because that's what NinjaTrader does. So there's no need for BlackBird to double the work that NinjaTrader is already doing there. Yeah. So if you just wanted, but you can, customize or not customize, but you can use NinjaTrader's session template here as a starting point, and then you can go in here and open each one of these up, right? And then put in that exact time that you want there. There we go. Right. One more, just for good measure. There you go. Right. So you can tweak that, customize it. And then when you save your BlackBird template out, then obviously all of your settings up here, that's the whole point of saving a file, is to save all these settings here exactly the way you want them there. Yeah. So I guess an alternative is you could open up a blank BlackBird window here, right? No order sets, no signals, no money management, right? Make sure it's all brand new and blank, so I don't want to clear this out because so far I've been kind of using this to answer questions here, but if you don't have a blank one, you can hit clear, right? And that clears everything out. And then just only go into the scheduling, create a custom schedule, and then you can save that, right? That file with only the scheduling saved the way you want it. Save that file out and, just use some kind of naming convention, like my custom session template, starter file, right? And this will be your starter file that you can open up, right? You can just open up that starter file, put in whatever order set you want to use, right? Set up your money management, yada, yada, yada. And then just do a save as, and then save, once you have all the order sets and everything else set up the way you want it, do a save as. So that way you're not saving over that starter file, right? And save it to whatever kind of name you want to use there, right? So that's really just file management there. So nothing special or particular to BlackBird, but just file management there. Yeah, so if you're finding that you're using the same money management rules over and over and over again when you're creating, different BlackBird settings, yeah, you can go ahead and set all those money management up to whatever your most common use case is, and then obviously set up your scheduling to what you use all the time, and then save. That way you have all those settings, saved to a file as a starter file, and always open that up and then add your order sets and your signals and whatever else afterwards. And then always make sure you do a save as. So that way you're not saving over that template file or that starter file. All right, so I think that's maybe what you're getting at there, Doug. Okay, yeah, so Doug wants to see an example of splitting up one of those blocks of time here. Okay, so let's open up the scheduling again. Yeah, so, if you want 2 blocks of time, or you might think of it as splitting up this block of time here. Yeah, so I will just knock that down. So yeah, let's say maybe you don't want to trade the first hour as the market's trying to figure out what it's doing, right? The market loves to go the opposite direction for the first, 15, 30 minutes and then reverse course, right? For the remainder of the day. So if you want to stay out of that volatility and maybe trade pre-market, right? There we go. I can just double click on a block and create another block of time there, right? So you can have as many, individualized blocks of time as you want there. So, and then you just double click on it and you can put in whatever kind of custom time you want there, right? Like so. Also, right, you'll notice that the granularity of each row is set in 1 hour increments. So, so if you watched the training video on the scheduling here, it would have taught you that you can change the granularity of each row. So if you want to go to 15-minute granularity, there we go, like so. And then do something like that. So there you go. There's, there we have it. So there's 45 minutes prior to the market opening, right? So again, keep in mind the time zone here is set to Eastern time. So, yeah, there we have it. So if you want to block out the first 30 minutes, I can just knock these down now because my granularity is set to every 15 minutes here. Right. Or, of course, you can always double click on one of these green blocks and then you can just go in here and tweak it. Type in the exact time there. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this only goes down to 5 minutes there, because it'd be a little too expansive if, well, 5 minutes is really expansive. So, so for the, yeah, so when the question said using 4 o'clock and 59 minutes, you definitely have to type in 59 minutes there. All right, so there you go. I think that's what Doug wanted to see. All right, yeah, so here's one more follow-up here from Doug about using the force trades to exit. So, and okay, here we go. Yeah, so his question is, yeah, does that flatten existing trades? Yes, that's exactly what it's for. So, yeah, the force trades to exit is doing exactly what NinjaTrader setting does. So NinjaTrader has a similar setting for all strategies where it will it'll close out, it'll cancel orders, and it'll flatten open positions at a certain time. So, and it also kills your strategy too. So, yeah, a lot of people don't like the fact that that NinjaTrader setting also turns off your strategy. Yeah, since that is a common feature, right? People don't want to trade the overnight session, right? So most people want to be flat when the market ends, or at least, they want to be flat, say 5 minutes after, after the market ends. So the force trades to exit, it flattens all open positions, and it cancels any open or any working orders. Yeah, any open orders, working orders, it cancels those as well. Again here, folks, on kind of simple questions like that, it kind of sucks to have to wait a whole week, to get questions like that answered here. So just want to remind everybody, that is all explained in the documentation there, right? So obviously, yeah, the scheduling, right, is one of the management buttons there. So we can go scroll down to scheduling, way down there. There we go, scheduling. And where is it? Force trades to exit. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah, there's a lot to explain about that for the force trades to exit there. Yeah, there we go. So there's some examples there. Man, I don't know why this happens, but there's something on our website that keeps stripping out the line returns. So, yeah, I am positive this should have been broken up into several paragraphs, but something keeps stripping out the line returns on our website. Anyways, it's all there. So, despite the proper sentence structure or paragraph structure. Let's see here. All right, another follow-up. Yeah, so Doug is asking. So let me expand the granularity again here. Yeah, so Doug's question is, so if there's a split here between two different trading times, and I'll just kind of answer this generally speaking. Yeah, so if you have two blocks of time here, right, and there's this no trading period, so the force trades to exits when any period of time comes to an end. So when this morning session comes to an end, right, so at 9:30, force trades to exit will exit that trade. It'll flatten you and cancel all positions. And then once the next block of time begins, then BlackBird will start trading again. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. So if we did something like this, right? So what would happen is if, let's say, BlackBird's auto trading, right? BlackBird, might take a couple of trades, and then by the time 9:30 comes along, right, everything is flattened and all open orders are canceled, right? And then no trading for that half hour, and then BlackBird can start trading again. And then by the time 11 a.m. occurs, then BlackBird will flatten any open positions and cancel any open orders, and then wait until 11:30 picks up. So, right. Probably the next logical follow-up is, well, how do I just stop entry orders, but I want, a trade to play out? Well, then you can't do this. Well, or I should say you can't use the force trades to exit, right? So you had to turn that off there. And then, yeah, you have to turn that off. That way, open positions can play themselves out, but then you need an external mechanism to make sure that your orders are closed out at the end of the day. And the way you can do that is you can use a bloodhound exit signal. There we go. So I'm just going to load in my little crossover test, and I'm going to disable the entries and enable the exits there. And I just happen to have one called exits. So there we go. So I'll just select this bloodhound template here called exits. And you can set up that bloodhound template there to generate exit signals, not orders, exit signals at whatever time of day you want, right? So yeah, so that's your workaround there, is use bloodhound exit signals to make sure that BlackBird closes all of your open positions and cancels your open orders at whatever time of day you want there at the end of the trading day there. Let's see here. All right, so Doug is asking, yeah, so when I mentioned it turns off the strategy, that's a NinjaTrader setting. All right, BlackBird can't disable itself. Yeah, strategies cannot disable themselves. They cannot place orders, but they can't disable themselves. So that is only NinjaTrader can disable a strategy. So that was a NinjaTrader setting that would cancel orders and flatten the position, but also disables the strategy. So that's a NinjaTrader setting. So yeah, that is different than the scheduler, than BlackBird's scheduler. Yeah, so BlackBird can't disable itself. All right, so I think looks like we got through all the scheduling questions here.